I'm going to do it. I'm going to take the wall of this place and I'm going to extend it out 1 block so that this part of the roof will be 3 blocks wide so that I can have a little 1 block window up in the top there. And also, you know, I like having a center block. It's a big decision, having a center block versus not having a center block when you build a place. It can often be very important. It has a lot of, it's very impactful. This thing, I gotta get rid of this thing because it's taking up inventory slots. And then the other thing is I think I could put my chisel somewhere. Let's hope I don't forget about it. Oh, leather. Look at that. Get some more fish. Did you know you could do that? Did you know you could put, okay, cooked fish onto a drying rack? I got more fish, but I don't got more drying racks. Oh, I do got more drying racks. Oh, I'm holding onto them right now. I'm holding them in my hands. Put them there for now. This whole, as I mentioned previously, this whole area does not please me. It irks me. I'm not pleased. I'm irked. How's the lighting? Lighting's fine. Oh, because I've got this ugly thing. Uglying up the floor there. Yeah, this is always a... I love you can hang light fixtures from the ceilings, you know, like on a chain. Okay, screw it. Yeah, I've used that quite a bit, like a light fixture, like a chandelier with a bunch of... cut down that tree too. Chandelier with a bunch of torches sticking off of it is really nice. Oh, is the sun setting? Oh, it's literally setting right now. All of my plans and plans within plans. I don't need tea. Oh, there we go. Last night I was working on the mod pack and I haven't updated this yet, but I've added the tea from Tea Story to the composter rules. So now it will compost. It will compost nicely. Yeah. So what I'm going to do over here. This part as well, I kind of was thinking about this. I think I'm going to have this part come out 3 whole blocks so that I can have right there, right? Yeah, and then maybe here. It's going to come out 3 blocks. And then this whole side of the building is going to come out 1 block, which is going to mean that this isn't going to be here. It's going to be it's going to be here, but you know, whatever. And then the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to do this. I'm going to like build a facade of like, I'm not going to take out these blocks yet. I'm going to build a facade, and then I'm going to destroy them from the inside. Because I felt like if I destroy the wall, if I destroy the house, starting from, like if I start by destroying the whole building, then I won't have a wall and things will come in at night and kill me. Whereas if I start by building, just replicating every block out like this, then I can later tear down the like interior wall. And yeah, just a slight life hack there. This one, I think I will actually just break and then replace because I don't have all of those blocks on me. I didn't have any cobblestone. Fancy that. Fancy that. Am I still going to be able to do this? Yeah. Oops. well. And this one. Oh, lag. There we go. Yeah, it was a hard decision. I waffled on this quite a bit because it's a lot of work, you know. You build something and then you gotta destroy it. That's just to correct like a tiny architectural decision. I should have really planned for having, like, I know that I like having a central block. I can reach, so I don't have to climb up. I know that I like having a central block, right? So I should have expected that when I was building the roof, but I was just in such a hurry, I guess. Oops, that doesn't need to happen. This needs to happen. Nope. I love the reach. Yeah, that's something that I would add to vanilla Minecraft. Is things to extend your reach. It's just so nice. It's such a good late game technology to be able to just reach a little bit further. Are the enemies coming to kill me yet? They're coming soon. Am I gonna just wait for them to come and then scream? Probably. The other thing I've got to get working on is the stuff to prevent spiders. In the last episode, a spider just boldly strode right into my home and attacked me. I was like, ah! You know, I'm like armed and armored now a little bit, so you know it's not terrible. But I've got OP mechanism tools protecting my bod, so it's not that bad. But it is bad. It's not good. I mean, obviously, couldn't call that good. Yeah, see? So that's done. And then I can work on the roof. The roof is perfectly safe. Yeah, this isn't going to take as long as I thought. Especially if I use the appropriate tools. I'm always chiding my child for like punching wood and rocks and stuff, but like I do it. All right. I met a friend at a coffee shop the other day who I had not seen since, like maybe one pandemic ago. Oh, I don't like this. What is this? I thought I already chiseled that away. Did I have two of them? Yeah, we hadn't seen each other for a long time. University friend. And what a cool guy. We got talking about yeah, how much do I want to say here? He's a man with a vision. I'm not a person with a vision. You know, I have some cool ideas. I think they're cool. My mom thinks they're cool. I have some ideas that I'm fond of. That. Oh no! Oh no! Oh! How did that happen? I just had a flashback to falling into the void, like falling into the end, and panicking, and like I fell into the end, and I had a teleportation book that I could just easily, all I needed to do was like click it and teleport back to the overworld, but I just panicked and I didn't click it, and I died and lost everything in the overworld. So yeah, you know, I don't know actually, because I don't have like a sort of a deep like a thing that I feel I must create in this world, you know? Like I enjoy making things, but there's nothing that's like driving me, you know? I don't even like, I'm having trouble even articulating what I'm talking about here because I don't have a very direct experience of this, but I know that other people do. There are people who do, and this is one of those people. He, like even in university, he was talking about this, you know, project that he's wanting to work on, and then in his professional life, he's working on that project, you know, and it's stressful. And I was kind of saying like, well, you know, because I'm pretty laid back, you know, and my advice is typically like, well, don't let things be too important to you. You know, people can be important to you. That's cool. But like, you know, work, projects, things like that. Like, don't get too sort of like, don't let them damage you. You know, don't let them become so important that when they like fail, it damages you, or when they end, you take psychic damage or something. Was kind of what I was saying. But it's interesting because he has this different perspective that was like refreshing, which is it's like the opposite. I'm saying like don't get so attached to your ideas that you hurt when they fall apart. And he's saying get so attached to your ideas that any particular instance of your ideas falling apart doesn't hurt you, which is like different. Yeah, I'm gonna go get some stone. And it got me thinking about on like a game design Discord that I'm part of, Paradise. There's this idea called Jupiter, which is the idea that this is a different Jupiter. This is not the Jupiter-based campaign setting. It's unrelated. Jupiter's just really cool, okay? It's a metaphor, and it's this idea that like the there's a bit more background than I need to. Once upon a time, I was making a video game on the Game Boy, and it was done. It was like pretty much done. It was feature complete, and it just needed now all of the other things. Like it needed the what I call paratextual elements. Like a book has a cover, and it has like a little blurb on the back and a review, a New York Times review that says stunning masterpiece work or something. And then a book has like a blurb of the author. It has like a little bio of the author with a picture of the author on the inside cover. You've maybe seen those before. If you've experienced book, you've probably experienced these paratextual elements. They're very common. And I'm going to destroy probably more of this than I need to, just because that way I don't have to think too hard while I'm making it. I can ramble. Those are like the paratextual elements that are common to book, like publication information on the inside of the book. Like none of that has to, if you wrote a novel, unless your novel is like really cool, it probably doesn't like involve the publication information. Isn't probably part of what you would call the novel, right? It's like part of the book, but it's not part of the work, if that makes any sense. And I've heard those referred to as paratextual elements. And video games have those too, right? A video game has like a box, and it has a website and a Steam page, and none of those things are part of what the video game making people often complain about doing that stuff, because it's like that's not. I'm a game designer. I'm not a Steam page designer. Maybe you want to like hire somebody to do that stuff, but if you're an indie, then you can't hire somebody to do that stuff, or you probably can't. I guess indie is a pretty broad term these days. So and then in addition to those sort of external paratextual things, there's also the internal ones, like the pause screen. Once again, unless your game is like really cool, I keep saying that and then chuckling because like I know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about what was that game? There's a game that was like it was all the start menu. The whole game was the start menu, and the game didn't want you to play the game, so it kept like kicking you out. It's like a horror game. Caligula or something? I want to say it's called Caligula, but I know that's not right. Anyway, the pause menu is not like the start screen where it shows the title and the little press start button flashes. Like that's not part of your video game, right? That's paratext. I was finished making the game, and then I had to work on all the paratext, and it was like I stopped working on my game for months because I didn't want to do that stuff, because I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in the paratext. I'm interested in the text. Get rid of some of that stuff there so I can pick up more blocks. Give me the blocks. I don't need none of these seeds. Yeah. And I got pretty down about that. And then at some point I was like, no, you know what? The game is the thing. Like the game is the center, and all of the paratext is other centers. It's like they feel like weaker centers that are not helping. Well, no, I didn't frame it like that actually. At the time, I was just like, no, the game's the thing. I'm not gonna do. I'm not gonna like not make my game. I'm not gonna let all these paratextual elements stop me from making my game. So nice to have like food and heal my hearts. So what I did, I had this kind of stroke of genius. I thought this was pretty clever at the time, at least. What I did was I made everything with the game. Like the game was done. I'm like, I have everything that I need, to publish this game. It's done. The gameplay is all there, and so like I'm not gonna make anything else. I'm not gonna add any additional features or game states or whatever, just in order to like house this paratext. So what I did was I made all of the paratext out of existing parts of the game. So the sticker that goes on the front of the game box. Gotta get up there, but I don't know how. The sticker that goes on the front of the game box, on the front of the cartridge, like a Game Boy. This is a Game Boy game. It's published as a Game Boy cartridge, and the Game Boy cartridge has like a sticker that goes on the cartridge that says like the name of the game and has like typically some cartoony looking art. So what I did was I made the sticker on the front with like I made a level. I made a level in the game that had the name of the game. The name of the game was Ark. Oh, I'm going to take so much fall damage right now. The name of the... Oh! I missed the pole. No. That was the worst. The name of the game is Ark. And... Is that a stair? That's a stair. So I need to put a block here, and it should be dirt. The name of the game is Ark, and... So I wrote that in like blocks. It's a block game. So I wrote that in blocks. This guy's gonna shoot me. Oh, man. Don't shoot me, okay? Stupid skeletons. Don't climb up here, spiders. Don't do that stuff. I wish I had a bow, but I also I'm glad I don't have a bow. And I didn't make box art at all, which I kind of regret. I think a box would have been cool. Well, actually, this whole story is about regret. So let's I'll get there eventually. Oh man. Okay, well, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make this part, and then because I don't want to get shot by skeletons, so I'm just gonna make as much of this part of the ceiling, the roof, as I can, like this. There we go. And then like the start screen was just a level. Like the first level of the game is this trivial level where it's a puzzle game. There's no puzzle to solve really. There's just you, and the name of the game is written in blocks, and there's two staircases. One of them is easy is easily accessible, and the other one requires pushing a block to get to. And the one that's easily accessible takes you to the proper first level of the game, and the one that requires pushing a block takes you to the password screen. And the password screen is also just a level where you push blocks, and the pushing of the blocks is the password, right? So that's cool. Like I think that's clever. It's a clever solution to like if you're a game dev who does not want to make all of the paratext, even if you plan to do it later, like it's good. It's a good stand-in to just make more of your game and call that the paratext. The ending screen is just a level. Like when you beat the game, you just go to a big empty level that has the word fin written in blocks from in game assets, right? And I was satisfied with that, and it got me unblocked, right? Like that's I'm doing the thing. Don't Don't tell me I did the thing. I did the thing. Why can't I get this right? All right. 1. This goes down. Yeah, and then this next one should be a stair. I don't know why it's so unintuitive to me. I've done this kind of roof like more than once, and yet, yeah. I guess just typically my roofs don't work this way. All right. Such a wasteful builder too. Like I've probably lost so many stair blocks. Yeah, but yeah, later. So like that motivation, the idea there is that the game is the center, and all the paratext surrounds, orbits, is in orbit around the game, and like you. This is clearly not right either. Oh man, I'm having such a hard time focusing because I'm also trying to tell this story. Yeah. So, but then later, like I went and I published this game, and you know it didn't sell very well. But I bought a lot of copies for myself and for my friends, and sold a bunch of copies to people. And then I got this idea that I wanted to like put it in. It's a Game Boy game, right? So I wanted to have it in retro game stores. Like you know, you have like a used game store that sells retro games, and my feeling is like, well, that even though this isn't a used game, and it's not a game, like when somebody goes into a retro game store, sometimes they're looking for a specific game that they like have nostalgia for, but I think a lot of the time they're not. A lot of the time, because my own experience is that when I go into a retro game store, what I'm looking for is treasure, this kind of vague treasure. I keep getting shot by skeletons. I mean, I didn't get shot, actually. I dodged and took as much damage as I would have taken if I had gotten shot. Yeah, I think right here. And then here. So I did that. I got my game. I like talked to people in retro game stores in Osaka, and got my game on some shelves in Osaka and Vancouver. Hello. Vancouver, BC. That's where I am. Just dox myself casually. It's fine, right? And one of the places that I wanted to get my game into in Tokyo, I was talking to the guy, and he was like, does it have a tracked mode? Did you implement a tracked mode so that I can like put it on, because he was excited about it, right? But no, he was enthusiastic at least, because that's the kind of shop that it was. I didn't have to do any extra work to convince that guy. I didn't have to do my sales pitch, you know? But it didn't have a tracked mode, right? And I was like, oh, a tracked mode, that'd be cool. And it got me thinking, like, actually, I wish I'd done all of that stuff. Like, I wish I had a box and a manual, you know, and like all of those paratextual elements. Like, why didn't I do those things? They're actually amazing. And then I don't know how exactly the conversation started, but this idea of Jupiter kind of came from a conversation I was having on the Discord, and or that's where I encountered the idea. It's not my idea. It's somebody else's idea, who shall remain nameless, but is awesome. You know who you are, and I love you. It's the idea that like it's not the game that is the center. It's never the thing you're making that's the center. It's like the center is like there always this unnameable, inexplicable phenomenon, vast phenomenon that pulls you and pulls everything, and you're in a relationship with it. And all of the elements of, including the game, are in a relationship with it, right? So my model, my like celestial mechanics analogy of like the game being, if I get shot off of here, and then there's the game, and then there's all the paratextual elements in orbit around the game. That's wrong. Actually, it's the game and all of those paratextual elements and everything in orbit around Jupiter. And there might even be more than one project in orbit around Jupiter. And the Jupiter was chosen because Jupiter was chosen for this analogy because it's a gas giant, right? So you can't set your feet on Jupiter. It's very clever. It's a very clever analogy. It's not my analogy, but you know, as a professional analgizer, I gotta say this is like tremendous. It's a very good, and I leverage it all the time in conversations, and when talking about work and art and everything, because it's just really powerful. It's really useful. Your drive. It's almost like your inexplicable drive, right, to create is Jupiter. But there's probably it's not just that, because there's more than one. There might be more than one, you know, and they might be in orbit around the same planet, the same Jupiter, or they might be in orbit around different Jupiters. You know, like you might have more than one, or you might just have one, or whatever. You know, I mean, and it's not like it's not something that you want to like define rigidly. That sort of defeats the purpose. You know, trying to define it rigidly sort of defeats the purpose. It's meant to be amorphous. It's a center in the Christopher Alexander style, right? It's like a center, and everything else is positioned to strengthen it, but also to express it. No, it's not a center, because it's like it's inexpressible. I'm doing this part of the roof slightly differently. This came to me in a dream. It didn't. I was just thinking it'd be cool. I'm going to try this, to have this part be more tower-like. And to have something be more tower-like, it's got to have a roof that goes up like this instead of jutting out, right? So I'm going to go down and like take a look at this once I'm confident that there are no zombies and skeletons waiting to shoot me, and then we'll see how this goes. How am I going to get down from here? Oh, water. I can jump into the water. Oh, but is there some zombies waiting down there? Yes, there are. There's so many. What am I going to do? Can I make this jump? I'm a parkour noob. Oh my god, I didn't even jump. Oh no, I'm such a parkour noob. Okay. Just trying to survive in this parkour civilization. Yeah. So yeah. So you know, my current project, I have this Jupiter analogy like fresh in my mind, and I'm thinking about it much more in those terms, right? And so it's been very helpful, and it's very similar to another idea that is mine, that is about practice and process. And because I maybe I've mentioned this before, I like practice and process more than I like results. You know, like results, outcomes, outputs are cool. Those are the things you show other people. But like the process is the thing you do yourself for yourself. It's the thing that like affects your ability to live in the world. Well, I mean, you know, if you're doing something commercially, then obviously the product has a great impact on your ability to live in the world too. But I'm going to go down here now because I feel like the zombies are... Oh no! Skeleton! Lots of zombies and skeletons. It's just, I went the wrong way. This is the worst. Oh my god, this is the worst. Oh, you guys. Come on. This is terrible. Okay. All I need to do is put a stair there, and then I can be done with this. Ugh, that arrow there. Yeah, like I mentioned, the idea of a project that grows like a tree, maybe like in episode 1 or something, and how if you're working on a project and it's and you've designed it to be finished at every step, to be like something that someone could look at and say, oh, that's a nice blah, like that's a finished thing, rather than, oh, this work is not finished. This is incomplete. Not finished in like a very concrete way, right? Like not finished, missing a wall, for example. How am I going to get back out there? Then you know, that's the way that I work, and I think that that's virtuous. But this other thing, which is, I think of my goal. My goal in a project is like the goal of a plant. A plant intends to reach the sun. That is the goal of every plant. Every plant wants to reach the sun, right? Clearly, like, look at them. Look at how they behave. They clearly want to touch the sun. But the sun is very far away from the plant. And so the plant, grows and probably sometimes struggles and develops. And there are leaves and shoots and boughs. What else do plants have? And these are all part of this process where the motivation is the sun, right? And this is different from iteration. This comes from kind of reflecting on the idea of like prototypes and iteration, and how like prototypes are often they feel like subsidiary to the work. There's something that you want to do, and a prototype is like a step along the way. It's not a thing in itself. It's a means, not an end. And I don't really like that. Ooh, you guys, can you shoot each other? Oh, you did shoot each other. That's cool. Is this too low? No, this is the perfect length. Okay. I'm gonna put a piece of dirt there. Yeah. So if instead of thinking of the sun as your goal, as like plants don't probably. Well, I don't know. Probably some plants. It's unhealthy to think this way, I think. But probably some plants think of. Oh, yeah, this is wrong. Right? This should have come out one more block, like that. Probably some plants think this way, just like some people think this way, right? You're like, I am a game designer, and it is my first time making a game, and I will make an MMORPG. That's like the classic example. And some people just do it. Some people are Hercules and Heracles, and they just do it. But other people just fail and bounce off of that, and that's fine. It's a learning experience, right? But if you don't frame it as a learning experience, then it can feel like a failure, right? If you think, I was working on an MMORPG and then I failed, and now what am I? I'm a failure. Then that's bad. I don't have a lot of hearts right now. That's not going to make you, you're not going to feel good. You're going to feel bad. You shouldn't feel bad. You should feel good. So if instead you frame your projects, your goal, the sun, being something unobtainable but definite, like you can clearly see the sun, you can measure how far away it is, and you can measure steps towards it. But you'll never get there. And so, if you make an MMORPG, then when it's done, what will you do? You'll make another MMORPG, maybe, if that's still your goal. If your goal is still the sun, you're still just moving towards the sun. And if you don't, if you make a leaf, and you're on your way to the sun, but you don't make it, then that's fine. That's like part of the growing process. A plant grows many leaves on its quest to touch the sun, and that is I think a healthy relationship to have with your work and your process. And that is kind of similar to the Jupiter thing, right? It's like, just don't center the results, center the process, because you benefit from the process. Psychologically, the process is for you. If you are a potter, like, I love watching people work clay. I love working clay. I do, occasionally I have worked clay, and I've always enjoyed it immensely. And I feel like people who do that, they look like they're having a good time, a relaxing time, like a slow burn kind of good time, not like a chocolate bar, but like just a nice time. And that's really nice. And then they end up with a work, or many works, right? Process. Yeah. So similarly, Jupiter, right? And so this friend of mine, to get back to my coffee shop meeting, he kind of expressed a similar idea, and it was very refreshing to kind of hear it from a different angle. Because he was talking about the idea of like pushing through. I'm gonna go down here. I'm gonna kill these skeletons and zombies if they're still around. Yeah, no, they're not. Okay, good. Pushing through. He talks about pushing through. Oops, it is there. You are there. Oh, nice. That was so hard. You know, eating. I always think of eating through to the other side. I can't remember where that comes from, but pushing through. Oh yeah, this is correct. This is correct because it's going to have another. I was worried that it's not supposed to have this overhang, but actually it is supposed to have that overhang. I'm going to just double check that by looking at it from different angles. Yeah. Pushing through the other side. Yeah. So like, because his passion is not for this particular project that he owns, that he's like the CTO of or something. It's like his interest is not just in that one project. His interest is in this whole thing, that he's been passionate about forever. And like when the current thing is done or dies, he won't he'll do another, you know, because it's a general enough principle, and he's learned enough from the process of doing this one that he'll be able to kind of improve upon it, or do something, you know, maybe not improve upon it, but like do something different that contributes towards the same goal. His goal is a lot more, I think there's a lot more, it's a very big overarching goal. It could be, you know, it could consume multiple lifetimes. So he's contributing to a technology. Yeah, but it was really, I don't know, it was really cool to hear that. And then we talked about the Jupiter thing, and he took a lot out of that as well, I think. But yeah, I don't know, good like healthy ways to do great work. Psychologically kind of healthy ways to do great work, to do great works. Yeah, but so I don't have like a life Jupiter, you know. I mean, I don't think I do. Maybe I would have to do some reflection to really have a good answer to that. But yeah, there's not like, I mean, maybe, you know, I don't know, maybe games, maybe writ large. Like I've been making games for a long time, but like I don't feel like if I don't make games for a while, it doesn't hurt me, you know. Whereas I think that if you have like this, you know, enormous overarching desire, all-consuming kind of desire to make a particular, you know, thing, to will something into the world, then it would hurt you to stop working on it. Yeah. You wouldn't want to stop. Like if you stopped, you'd start something else. You'd start something similar, or another sort of branch, another leaf, another bough. Yeah. So my smaller projects, I organize them that way, but it's like many Jupiters. Yeah. Or I think probably it's just that I don't know what it's all in orbit around or in service to. And I mean, like, maybe taking the analogy too far is also not healthy, because the idea that everything has to have a meaning or a purpose or be in orbit around some particular gravity well that's not necessary. All right. I think I talked my way through this. I think I talked through to the other side. I think that if I go and look at this roof now, I'm going to be like, oh, the roof is done. And it didn't feel, like it took 1,000 years. I was very daunted at the beginning. I thought, oh man, I'm going to have to, you know, it took me forever to build this thing, and now I'm going to like rebuild it. I was afraid. I quaked and quivered. But then, you know, I just talked while I was doing it, and that's fine. No, it looks good. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna need to put the stairs on the underside of this. That's the next thing that I'm probably gonna do, and then obviously I gotta get rid of. There's like this wall back here needs to go. Do I have? Yeah, I do. I can do that right now. That's there, and then this pillar is going to move, and there's ramifications to that, right? Because like now this one has to be wider, which means this floor has to go out like this and that. Yeah, but all in all, pretty good, pretty good. Is that right? No, that's clearly not right. This can go. Oops, I'm adding more pit traps for myself. Yeah. I don't know what I'm gonna do next. I mentioned like I don't have a lot of centers to work with right now. I don't have a lot of like needs because I haven't really been doing any mods, so I don't have a lot of prompts. Prompts is what I was trying to say, not centers. I don't have a lot of prompts right now to work on. So there's not really anything to put in the house, right? Like I would just be kind of playing house. I would be adding, you know, things that make sense in a house. The house is the prompt, and I'm filling it up with house-like things. Such reach. Oh, do I like the weird-looking roofy bit that folds up like that? No, I don't. I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm just gonna have it work like this. I get rid of the front of this. There, like that. I'm declaring war on it right now. There we go. You're gone. You're dead to me. Nice. Yeah, that's nicer. And then I think the next thing I'm going to do, oh yeah, right. This is the part that I like. Yeah, so I've got to get into a mod, and I'm thinking I'm going to get into roots. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a little bridge out to here, and then kind of wall up a little bit of this sort of raised area here, including this nice little feature. I'll have a little staircase that goes up here, maybe a little platform or something, and then I'm going to do roots stuff in this little garden. Maybe I'll have a little wall that has a gate, and then that way I'm safe from monsters. Monsters. And then that will give me some things, presumably, that I'll want to put in the house, little rooms, right? It's like, it's all got to be interconnected. Maybe I do that. The other thing I gotta do is extend this out. That's the reason I say I gotta is because of how flat this feels. I don't like that. I want it to come out. And I think 3 blocks out is like maybe too far, but it's the only thing that makes sense to me. And then obviously the storage area is important. Gotta work on that. Yes. The other thing is here, yeah, once I have the storage area, then I can have a little tunnel that goes into this building, and I can add the slanted roof onto here. That was always part of the plan, right? Was to have a slanted roof and to like connect these buildings. So like maybe there'll be a, maybe. The other thing that I had been thinking about was I have that furnace room downstairs. I want to bring the furnace room up and put it like right here against this back wall with a chimney, and then cover it up. So I might actually take this whole tofu house and move it back so that it's in line with this post, because then the slanted roof will make more sense. There'll be like a covered area here, and maybe this will be the entrance right here. That'll go into the old tofu house, which will be like the little furnace room. Yeah. Still thinking about a tower here. Every time I go up these stairs, I'm like, yeah, I should build a tower here. And then wall along here, smaller wall. It's probably going to join up with that nice roots area. Or maybe it won't join up with it like completely, but I'll have some kind of little, these monsters won't be able to, it's probably going to join up with it. and then out there and along there to be my garden, my agriculture over here. We're going to lower all this down and then flood it with water so that I can have as much crop as possible. And yeah, and then the other day I was standing way over there on that mountain. I was looking for water. I was looking for like a lake in this mountain area, because this water, this bugs me, right? Like this water has flows down here from here, but like where does this water come from, right? So I was thinking, well, maybe I'll build an aqueduct from a pool of water that's up there and then have the aqueduct, you know, gently come in here and then pour water into there. And then I'd be satisfied. Then I'd be like, yeah, it's an aqueduct. It's providing water for my crops. And then it's flooding this area. That's great. But there, I couldn't find a single lake. So that's actually one of the reasons I thought I'd do roots, is because then I can get there's like a roots magic staff that lets you disappear into, like you send your spirit roaming around and you can kind of explore inside of things. And if you explore inside of a mountain, you'll find pools of water typically, you know, aquifers and stuff. I'm gonna log off in my house. I tried to do this the other day, right? I tried to log off in here, and I got attacked by spiders. So maybe I won't. Oh, look at all that dirt. Lovely dirt. Yeah, this is good. But it's like, it's an empty skeleton of a house, so I gotta figure out what's gonna go in here. No, man, come on. I want the dirt. I don't want all these torches. There. Nice. Yeah. But I like it. I like the general shape of it. I like this roof. I'm glad that I finally have this center line figured out, you know, so that I can have a nice attic up there, and a window. This bay window is going to be a little bit bigger, but I think that this isn't really going to be a bay window because I'm going to move the bay window over here. That whole concept is going to go over here. Also, that's kind of nice. This I'll be able to get rid of this little conflict, right? Because this is just going to be floor, and then this thing will go out around the outside and join back up here. I guess I just moved. I guess I just moved the issue. It doesn't actually solve the problem. It just moves the problem. Yeah, I guess maybe this doesn't have to be a problem. Maybe the thing to do is to extend the low area. I'm like fretting over nothing here, but you know, like extend this low area so that it goes over to here, and then this won't feel so unnatural. And like I'm already planning to lower this part of the storage room, right? So like having the floor here, and then I have like a bigger place to sort of take off my shoes, and then I come over here, and maybe there's like a wall here? No, a wall here? I could add some kind of internal structure, right? And then, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but that's okay. I'm okay with not knowing. It was a bad idea to break those because that was all chisels and bits. And now my inventory is full of modded garbage. Good night.